Hey everybody, hope you're having a lovely day. I want to share with you in this video one of the most important strategies you can use to edge out the competition and start landing more interviews quickly. I know that's something that frustrates a lot of people. It's something I hear all the time from clients, and hopefully I can shed some real light there. So to get started, I want to take 1 second and just think about what happens when an employer posts a position. You've got recruiters, you've got HR people. They're tapping their network, they're tapping their their extended network, looking for qualified candidates. And they will usually get bombarded with a lot of applicants. Now, I often talk with those recruiters, I often talk with those HR people, and the number one complaint that they tell me is, yes, we get a lot of applicants, but there's just not much relevance there. I see a lot of people coming in the door, and one look at their resumes and you can tell, yeah, it's going to be a stretch. It's going to be a stretch for me to bring this to the employer and say, you're a great candidate. Or the problem is they will find someone of interest. They'll talk to them. They can tell that they have the relevant experience, but the fit is not there. The fit is not crystal clear. So that makes it, again, a harder sell. So the two biggest problems that HR people, recruiters face, when it comes to candidates is lack of precision in terms of the positions that they're going after and lack of communicating fit. So the strategy I'm going to lay out to you, this is something that I do all the time when I work with clients, and it helps to address both of those issues. So number one, here's what I want you to do, okay? Let's just say hypothetically you're about to embark on a search. Before you do anything, and I mean before you adjust your resume, before you make any calls, before you do anything else like that, I want you to go on LinkedIn and do an advanced search. What's an advanced search? Very easy. Sign into LinkedIn. You're going to see a search bar on the top. On the right of that, there's the word advanced. You click on that, boom, you're going to get a pop-up window that's going to give you a lot of different search criteria that you can use. So that's what I'm talking about when I say an advanced search. So I want you to do that, click on it. And now I want you to look at the following boxes and start tweaking depending on what you want. Some of the boxes that are available to you, job titles. So start putting in job titles that you might be interested in. For example, if you're a senior project manager, enter senior project manager. If you're a director of marketing, put in director of marketing. Put in a couple of job titles, start playing with that. A few other search criteria, keywords. You want to put in key skills that you're really, really powerful in. For example, if you're an SEO master, put that in there, see what happens. If you're an expert in HR policy or HR procedure development or electronic medical records, these are all terms that you can put into that keyword section, and that's going to make the results, i.e. the people who are going to show up once you hit search, that much more relevant. The other ones are industry, search by industry. That's a no-brainer. If you're in hospital and healthcare, put in hospital and healthcare. That'll help narrow down the search results. And then finally, location as well. For example, if you know that you want a position in the Boston, Massachusetts area, put in a Boston, Massachusetts zip code, and that'll help target the results as well. Again, just to recap, the criteria in advanced search, job titles, keywords, industry, location, these are all available even if you have a free account. If you have a premium account, there's a whole bunch of other ones that open up, including a person's seniority and things like that, which again, you can play with. But again, the goal here, okay, what you're looking for are competitors. People who currently have the type of job that you want, and you want to study how they're marketing, how they're positioning themselves. So you start playing around with this, right? Here's what I want you to be on the lookout for. Number one, start creating a list of target job titles. So you may start out thinking, yes, I want to be a director of marketing. But as you look through your competition, you're seeing a bunch of other running themes. You're seeing people with roughly similar backgrounds to yourself holding other job titles. Make a note of that, because job postings, the ones that you can put up on an Indeed or Monster or whatever, they're not that precise when it comes to matching up experience with job titles. That changes a lot depending on the company. But if you do a search for people on LinkedIn and start looking at the positions that they actually have, that's much more accurate. So I want you to, as you're playing around with LinkedIn's advanced search function, putting in this relevant, search terms, start creating a list of target job titles. Let's shoot for 10 to 12 ideal job titles. That's one thing that you want to be keeping attention on as you're looking through these profiles of people that turn up. The second one is, of the most visible competitors, make a list of them. You can just take their LinkedIn URL that's right beneath their picture and just copy and paste it for future reference. Make a list of 10 or 12 of the most highly visible competitors. And I want you to really closely analyze their profiles to see how are they marketing and positioning themselves. How do they tell their stories? What skills and qualities are they highlighting instantly within that first summary section? What keywords do they have in their profile that you can also use, right, on your profile and in your resume? Essentially, what I want you to do is study the best, study the most visible, study the people who are sucking up 80% of the attention in your niche, and analyze which of what they're doing can I use as well. So this is the goal of the whole LinkedIn advanced search function here. It's about finding target job titles, about 10 to 12. It's about finding 10 to 12 of your most visible direct competitors. So this is a lot of key information. This is intel that most people do not do. It's accessible to most people, but they don't want to do it. Instead, they look at a blank sheet of paper, or worse, a resume that's wildly outdated, and they say, how can I just sort of jam-pack this full of recent information? I don't want you to do any of that right now. I want you to start by seeing what the competition is like, what is the game look like before you start playing it. So that's one part. LinkedIn, advanced search, target job titles, most visible competitors. You got a list of all that stuff. Now, and only now, once you've done that, I want you to start collecting job postings. So you've now got this list, right, of 10 to 12 ideal job titles. I want you to use that, plug it into Indeed, plug it into all the major job boards, right? Plug it into LinkedIn, because LinkedIn obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, they're also pushing for jobs, and there's open jobs then. And I want you to start seeing what comes up. And again, I want you to make a list of 10 to 12 ideal job postings. All right, so these are well within this arena of 10 to 12 ideal job targets that you have. These are job postings that are for companies that you would realistically want to work for, and they are just go right to the heart of it. And what I want you to do is, once you have this list of job postings that are based on your job targets, I want you to study them and see what skills are being called out, what experience is necessary, what kind of background are they looking for, and basically how are they picturing that ideal candidate. So now you've got the makings of a really powerful cheat sheet, right? You've got the job titles, you've got the competitors, and now you've got the job postings that is going to help you target everything. And what you want to do, okay, the big secret sauce for all of this is you want to reverse engineer your career platform. That means your resume, your cover letter or value proposition letter, your LinkedIn presence, everything that you're putting out there, you want to reverse engineer it to fit the job postings and to fit the most visible competitors that you found. So you do that, and now you're working within a structure of success that you know works because the people who have the job that you want work it, right? The job postings that you're finding work it. And instead of trying to somehow shoehorn what you currently have and make it fit, be the round, screw in a square peg, forget about that. Don't worry about that. I want you to take this intel, take this knowledge that you've gained, reverse engineer every aspect of what you're putting out there to fit that. So in other words, for the resume, right? Some simple ideas. The opening part of the resume, the summary section, you can use some of the competitor profiles as inspiration for that, right? You can use some of the job postings to specifically call out the things that they're looking for there. Keyword section in a resume, you need that to pass scanning by applicant tracking systems. Look at the keywords that are found in your competitors' LinkedIn profiles and use all of the keywords that you can authentically support during the interview. Same thing for every other part of the resume. Definitely same thing for LinkedIn. This is the structure that you want to be working in. Now, notice I'm saying structure. I'm not saying it's the end all and the be all. I'm not saying give up what makes you you, give up what makes you individual and unique. That's all great, and that has a role to play. I would say focus on it as a general rule of thumb, 80-20. 80% of the time you're working within this established structure. You're working within your job search cheat sheet to sort of give you the viewpoint and the straight shot, the goal that you want to be going for. And then you have 20% left over to communicate other parts of your experience, other qualities that you're bringing to the table, a fresh perspective, all of that. But this cheat sheet is going to be your Bible. It's going to be the thing that you keep going to, the thing that you keep adapting and looking at, the thing that's going to be the compass for all of your efforts. And as we all know, if you set out into the wilderness, the guy with the compass is going to get to his destination a lot faster than the guy who doesn't. So I hope that this has been a really big help to you. I hope that you integrate these strategies, because they've certainly helped me in terms of working with the clients that I work with, and they consistently show results. And I want the very, very best for what you're putting out there and what you want to do. So if it's been helpful, let me know. I'm on Twitter. It's @ResumeOrbit. Visit our website, resumeorbit.com. And also visit our website, upgradeyourjob.com, if you want a free copy of our 6-point checklist for landing a 6-figure job. That can be a really big help. Thanks so much. See you guys on the flip side.